Hey guys, Anthony, 4x4 Diesel. Just doing a service on a 150 Prado and wanted to show you something really important. This is something that I've noticed on vehicles from about 250,000 Ks. So this is not the only one. So, you know, we've got all the usual checks, things we've shown you, the general sort of things to check on these cars specifically in our other videos, which is pretty well what you check on most cars anyway, but we're a bit specific to these vehicles because this is what we do. Now, while you're checking around underneath the vehicle, what you need to have a look at is all the transmission pan bolts, okay? Because we have found those missing, as I said, usually from about the 250k mark. I'll explain what happens and the torque settings and stuff in a minute, but I just want to show you that. So we need to check all these bolts, right? All the way around, up there, make sure they're all there. Around this side. There is one hidden around there, see that? Bada bing, the corner there, she's missing. If you look inside there, there's a thread, there's a bolt missing. There's a little bit of mud over it. So it's been out for a little while since it's been in the mud last. So it's been out a while, it's not leaking. It's, you know, I've seen these before. So this is basically what happens. I think the gasket obviously I think the original torque spec, don't hold me to it, it's either 4 or 6 Newton meters. I think it's 4 Newton meters. These gaskets are really good. I would only use genuine, but I've told you don't need to take these gaskets off and change filters. They're good, they don't block up, there's nothing wrong with them, just oil changes. You're wasting your time and money, but you can do it if you want. If you do, please use genuine parts. Don't bother putting, you know, aftermarket cheap brand stuff in there in your Toyota. You're better off leaving the original one there. So the gaskets, they're not a crappy cork gasket like some of the old vehicles. They are a nice rubber gasket, but they do obviously squash over time, and they get some little hairline cracks in them, which this one hasn't really got at the moment, just looking at it as I'm telling you the story. But and they go a bit soft. Now the problem is you can't just go and nip them all up. I've mentioned this in posts and stuff before, I'm not sure about videos, but probably haven't talked about it for a year or two, but you can't just go and nip them all up or re-torque them to the torque spec because it's not a new gasket anymore. That torque spec is for the original gasket when it was first fitted to the vehicle. So you can just get your quarter drive and just really, it's such gently, lightly, you've just got to give them, and it's more about making sure they're even. You might feel one that's loose sort of thing. So if you feel one that's loose than the other, just nip them up nice and even, but really carefully not to over tighten those. If you're not sure about it, then get yourself a gasket. I'll give you the part number for the gasket in a minute. I might even try and find, we've got this gasket and the bolts and stuff here, I'll try and find the part number for the bolts as well. And then it's up to you if you just want to drop it out and redo them. I think it's 4 Newton meters, might be 4.5. It's something small like that, it's crazy. But check it, don't hold me to it, it's been a while. So yeah, just check for those bolts missing. We've seen them missing, it's usually one bolt missing at about 250k, and then you check the others if they haven't been checked, and sometimes you find one that's a little bit loose. So that's what we'll do on this vehicle. We're going to clean up the hole, so we can put a bolt in there, and we're going to go and check them all over. All right, and we're going to do it by hand because we trust our hand with a used gasket more than the original torque spec that was meant for a new gasket. Hope you get what I'm saying. Okay, so up here I've got a gasket. The number is 35168 60010. That's for the A750F 5-speed auto. Get your pen, get your phone, punch it in. 35168 60010. I'll get you the bolt now. That was the pan gasket. While we're at it, I'll throw you an extra number. On a 120 Prado, the rear diff, if you're pulling the diff center out, the gasket you need for that, 42181 60120. Okay, that's your rear diff if you're pulling the center out. 42181 60120. Not related, but it's related because it's near these parts. I'll try and find the bolt. Haven't found the bolt yet, but the gaskets for the auto pan, the little crush washers, 35178 30010. Okay, there it is, the auto pan bolts. We've actually got 2 of them. 90119 06173. I'll read it again in case I got it wrong. 90119 06173 for the missing bolts in the pan. Okay, so we've given the hole a bit of a clean out, making sure that's all clean. by spraying some brake cleaner. Alright, bit of brake cleaner and compressed air and a bit of a toothbrush, give it a bit of a scrub, make sure the hole in the surface area, no point having mud under the bolt, under the washer, because then the mud will just, you know, squash it, eventually dissolve out, and then it'll become loose again. So it's got to be clean. We might even give that a little bit more of a polish on the outside before we put the bolt in, and just check all those by hand. Alright, so it's all nice and clean. We've got our new bolt, 10mm extension. Just gently get that started. Now those part numbers I gave you, that's what Toyota have supplied me. So they looked it up, they supplied. I'm just telling you what they supplied. It all looks right to me. I'm putting it in. It looks spot on. I would say that is the correct bolt, so I'm agreeing. All right, but what I'm going to do, as I said, I'm going to check all the others. Now that one next to it's fairly tight, so I'm going to go at least up to what that one is. So we'll just zoom back a little bit so you can get a bit of an idea what I'm doing. You certainly don't want to go hard on any of them. If it feels firm, then don't touch it. You're just looking basically for any loose ones, right? Which I'm not really finding any other loose ones. So I'm going to give that one needed a little bit. That one's alright. Get what I mean? We're just checking them. We're not going to tighten them. Don't tighten them unless there's one looser than the next one, if you know what I mean. So I'd suggest checking this at about somewhere between 2 and 250. Right? I might turn it like 5 degrees just to feel where they're at. Okay, so I'm just going to work my way around, all the way around. And I'm literally turning them maybe a few degrees, just enough so I can get a feel for what torque setting they're at. But I'm not actually tightening them. Some of them I'm not even turning. If I put the same pressure as one of the others that turned, they're just, well, you know, they're turning. It's, I don't know if 1 degree is probably an underestimation. That one took a bit more than the others over this side, and if you can see that. But it doesn't matter what you can see, you can hear I'm explaining what I'm doing. Pretty well done with that job. Alright, so check, clean, replace. Actually, this one at the back here, after doing all the others, so go around them again, doesn't hurt to double check. The one at the back here actually felt a bit looser compared to the side ones, so I'll go as far as to say, if my memory serves me correct, that it's the back ones that go missing, right? So maybe the back ones are the issue there. Yeah, even that side one actually, that went a bit more than most of the others. So there you go. So the back two at the corner probably went the most, right? Remember, I think it's something like 4.5 Newton meters, so it's really, you don't want to go too far. I'd rather go over it a lot of times and just have a feel and make sure it's right. And that's it, I'm happy with that. We'll check it next service. Bada bing, bada boom. If you like that, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. More important information videos coming your way. A750F transmission.